Hey everyone, welcome to a new video of my multiplayer server. In this video I will show you everything that was built in round 22. Now round 22 had a space theme and I also used a cool palette here that gave all the guests green faces. I copied it from the map called Asteroid Fields. If you Google Asteroid Fields Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 you will probably find it. It's a really cool looking map. Alright, I'll just go over what everybody built, and before we start, there were two unfinished plots, sadly. The first one was made by Howler. He started on a kart track with an invisible track for some parts. We just decided to remove it and keep this part, just so it looks nice in the overall plot. But yeah, we didn't give it a score. And also, Creator Creepy came back after a long absence, but yeah, sadly he also wasn't able to finish decorating this coaster, which does have quite a cool layout, I think. Alright, on to 14th place. In 14th place we have this coaster made by Sheeple. It's a launched laydown coaster, but yeah, it's probably lacking a bit in the scenery department. And probably could have removed some of the supports here to make it look better. What I do like about this coaster is these teleporting elements that he made. You can actually see it in action here, so it gets launched here, and here it teleports through the track and reappears here. Also teleports through the planets, and I think it teleports one other time. There it goes. But yeah, I made a tutorial on how to make these teleporting sections. You actually do it by changing the ride type into a mini golf, and then if you put a mini golf hole, the coaster cars will just teleport through it. But yeah, this plot probably could have used a lot more decoration, maybe a building for this part, and then it would have probably got a better score than it did now. Okay, in 13th place we have this plot made by Hallowed Webbit. He made this steel twister roller coaster, which goes over this hilly landscape, and there's just some planets flying around, some random pieces of carrots, and some giant grass from the giant garden team. I think the reason why this only got 13th place is that it doesn't look like there's really an idea behind the placement of stuff. It just looks a bit random, and also because of these colors the coaster just blends a bit into the landscape, and it doesn't really have an eye catcher. So yeah, maybe for example just giving this coaster a nice and bright layout. I think that already improves it quite a bit. But yeah, overall it could have just gotten a lot more attention, and then probably would have scored a lot better. Then in 12th place we have this plot made by Yaron. He made this inverted coaster which goes through a floating building. The building is really big. He even made some of these little I guess they're boosters or something that keep the building afloat. Now the reason this only got 12th place probably because the buildings look a little bit repetitive. For example, this glass could have easily been made to look a lot better. Let's just take this building, and for example you could just put the glass like this, and then you could just these poles in front, and if you do a building like that it already becomes a lot more interesting to look at. And that, for example, the black floor could have maybe used some stars and stuff like that. And the buildings actually all look quite empty. So that they could have probably actually used some stuff inside to look at. Or maybe some more paths for guests to walk on. What I do like, it's quite funny, is how he used this medieval window as a door, which the guests enter the building through. I think it's quite silly, but I like it. Okay, in 11th place we have this plot made by Jochem. He made this McDonald's establishment in space. It's a drive-thru, try now, make space. I really like the way these buildings look. Sadly, Jochem wasn't able to make the building bigger. He was quite sick while during this round. So I guess that has something to do with it. He actually made all these rocket cars which would drive around here very slowly in a space traffic jam, and some of them would actually take the turn here to go through this drive-thru. Sadly, he made some teleporting sections for this coaster, and they were outside of his plot, and that's not allowed. I don't want people to build outside of their plots. So then he just asked me to remove the entire ride. So yeah, that would, if he still had something like that, he would probably gotten a better score. He probably should have put the teleporting element inside the plot, and then it would have been okay. But yeah, as I said, Jochem was sick, so he didn't really have time to or energy to expand the plot. He probably could have used some more stuff to look at in this area. But still, good effort for someone who's sick. Okay, in 10th place we have this space shuttle made by Baumovich. I really like the look of this space shuttle. It looks quite impressive. I also like how we used all this track texture on it. Also, these exhaust pipes are quite cool, also with the explosion scenery item. He probably should have hidden some of the supports, especially under these exhausts, and probably also under the tail fin. What I do like is this flying saucer flying around. It's actually just an observation tower cabin on an invisible track. I think that's quite cool. I like how it just flies around. It looks like it's flying around quite randomly. The rest of the plot could have probably used some more decoration. For example, the star scenery items would have looked great on this black floor. In 9th place we have this plot made by a newcomer, Sear. I really love this building that he made called Sear Tower. Made a really nice rocket coaster here. There's some more rides inside the building. There's space rings. You probably already saw the inverter ship. I really like the color scheme that was used. It's black, white, and red look really good together. This plot probably could have used. Would have probably scored better if there was more stuff to look at in this half of the plot. But still, it got quite a good score. So really good effort from this newcomer. In 8th place we have this plot made by Utiluti. He made this plutonium harvester. So yeah, first it gets launched up into this building where it breaks, and then it drops down vertically inside of the asteroid, probably to harvest plutonium. I really like the big buildings that he made here. Also with some with all these pipes going around. That's quite cool. And also I like how he made these support structures to keep the asteroid together. So yeah, really nice plot. The support structures were actually an idea that I gave him, but he pulled it off really well, and looks quite good. So yeah, definitely a very creative plot. Now, we actually had a tie for 6th place. Tommy and Coaster Cook both got the same score. Tommy made this Space Invaders plot. He started off really nicely with this space station here, with some docks, and also with this spaceship here. That looks really good. Really nice combination of track texture and scenery pieces. So I really like these laser cannons that he built using these barrels and these flashing star scenery items. And also the mints from the candy set. This half of the plot I think was a little bit less thought out. Like I said, it's Space Invaders, so it's like these aliens are coming down towards the station. And there's also some rocket ships and some Virginia Reel tubs flying around. I'm not actually sure what they're supposed to represent. The rockets are space defenders, and these are space invaders. I guess the Virginia real tops are UFOs and the rockets are coming to shoot them down or something. But yeah, I think this plot would have scored better if there was more of this space station and less of this stuff. But overall it looks really nice. In 6th place, also in tied 6th place, I mean, we have this pinball machine made by Coaster Cook. That's a really creative approach to this space theme. You can see these paddles here, and here there's actually a launch track which launches I think a hardline twister coaster car, which serves as the pinball. So yeah, it travels around the plot and bounces around, and well, you have to use your fantasy for the bounces. But yeah, here it goes through this guiding track, which pinball machines always have. And I guess this is the part where you see the scores, top scores. Oh, it looks like I actually got a top score here, which is pretty cool. Here's some signs that say tilt, and lots of other space scenery around. You made a little spaceship here under the what do you call it? Under the playing field. Probably could have put some glass above it. I think he actually did that in the beginning, but later removed it. But yeah, not a bad plot. Okay, then in 5th place we have someone who hasn't joined in a few rounds. Tom Garstenfeld came back to my server to join this round. He made this a really cool launched B&M sit-down coaster with some big inversions. Yeah, it goes throughout the plot. Tom really likes to make B&M coasters. He put some nice tricky texture for these corkscrews, for example. He put these arches above them. I would have probably removed these supports. That would have probably looked a bit better. I really liked how he used this floor. I mean, this red rock floor looks a little bit weird in with this palette. It's a mixture between red and green, but he actually mixed that with plants, and because of that it looks like it's fully overgrown with plants, and that's actually quite a cool effect. I really like the building he made here. He used some really good layering. For example, you have these rusty walls with these steel lattices in front, which looks really nice. So yeah, that's quite a way to make your comeback onto my server. I hope to see more of Tom in the future. Alright, here we have the plot that got 4th place. This plot was made by Stravinsky. He's a newcomer on my server, and I really like the stuff he built here. He made these two big buildings, and the coaster actually goes through it with a vertical lift hill, and then it teleports through the other side of the building, and then it goes throughout this track. The layout of the coaster I think is not much special. I do like this teleporter and the vertical track a lot. Now here on the floor he made this really cool garden with all these, it really looks like a garden from a different planet, also with some creatures crawling around. Here's a giant wasp, there's even some dinosaurs. And what I also like is these astronauts, the ecological stuff that are floating around above the plot. I guess he put invisible paths here, which they are walking around on, which is a really cool trick. So yeah, really good stuff. I love when newcomers come in and then just make this awesome stuff. Okay, then we go to 3rd place. In 3rd place we have another newcomer, 94 Supreme Posse. And man, this really was one of my favorite plots of this round. I think I rated it 10 out of 10 because I loved it so much. There's just lots of tracky texture on this plot. I like how the lift hill here was encased in hardline twisted track. Goes through as a vertical drop, goes through a few inversions, and just twists around the plot. What I like most about this plot is this building. It just has so many cool tricks. I love this United States flag that was put here on top. The stars are made using this flashing star scenery, which is pretty cool. The roof is also really nice. It makes a lot of use of dodgem track pieces. I actually made a tutorial video on how to do this. If you haven't checked it out, you should. And also on the side of the building, there's lots of decorations. For example, there's a combination here of the nets from the pirate set, and also of these tennis walls. Also, I really liked these wall pieces here on the bottom. I couldn't figure out how we actually did it, but it turns out they were actually signs with a pattern of slashes and backslashes, and that's just so creative. That's really what I loved about this plot. There's all this creativity packed into this little plot. So yeah, awesome, and well deserved third place. Now, here you see my plot. It got second place in this round. I built this huge space pirate ship. I actually made a few videos where I show the building process. I just really sped up. I think I made it over 3 sessions of 1 hour, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. I used tons and tons of track texture here. Most of the ship is built out of wooden coaster track, but also we have observation towers, and we have bobsleigh coaster track here for the sails, and monorail track for these beams on the mast. Yeah, I was just really happy with how this worked out. Also, there's these rocket trains going around here on an invisible track over and around the pirate ship. And I'm really happy with how it worked out. You should really check out the video where I show how I built this, because it's quite cool, and it has some nice music as well. So I made these astronauts walk around on the ship. They're space pirates. I thought that was a cool trick. Okay, and here we go to the plot that got first place. Water cooler joined for the first time in the last round, and where he got second place, and now he took his revenge and took first place from under my nose. He made this cool looking corkscrew coaster. He actually removed all the supports, which I think is really nice. You don't really need those in space. This layout may look familiar. It looks a lot like the coaster that we all had to decorate in one of my previous rounds. But yeah, it's a really nice layout to work with, and he put some really nice decorations around it. Some good track texture as well. The lift hill encased in Hardline Twister Coaster track. He put some arches from the inverted impulse coaster. That also always looks nice around corkscrews. Some more arches here. I like how he made this station building with the go-kart track. I actually never did it like this, but now it's one of my favorite ways to make roofs. And also one really cool thing he did here was made this coaster called Orbiter. It just does one lap around this planet, but what I like most is how guests entered and exit the coaster. The entrance and exit of this ride actually have been moved from up here to down here and made invisible. When guests enter, they just immediately teleport up here. But when they exit, they actually exit from the original height, so it looks like they're falling down here to back to the surface. I think that's one of my favorite parts of this plot, this teleporter. It's just so creative. You also put all this differently colored stardust around here, and that just gives a really nice effect to this teleporter. Also, a really nice building here. I really like this style, and the colors of all these plants. They just work really well together, and it just makes it look like sort of an alien landscape, something you wouldn't find on Earth. Okay, that was everything that was built in round 22. This was really one of my favorite rounds to build in. and yeah, just so many awesome plots were made. If you want to join any of my rounds, you can join my Discord server, and there, if you become active, join in the conversations, you can become a trusted member, and then you can actually join in a new round when it starts. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in the next one. See you later.